seconds, I think. So I'm like, that's okay.
Boo's out here.
Oh, okay. I'm just filming a video. Hey everybody, it's Casey here. So I've got my 32-week pregnancy update for you guys. I am wearing a dress today because Drew and I are headed down to a baseball game and it's 100 degrees, and so I wanted something lightweight and just that would keep me cool. I wouldn't normally wear a dress to a baseball game, but I had put shorts on so I could show you guys the bump. Okay, there is the 32-week belly. According to my app, she is the size of a Florida pomelo and says she's probably sucking on her thumb, busy sprouting some peach fuzz on her head. Says that she measures close to 18 inches and weighs about 4 pounds, but I've seen different ones that say only like 3.5, so I'm not sure exactly which is more correct. Let's see, she says she does have a full set of both fingernails and toenails, which is really cool. It says that one of her favorite activities right now is sucking her thumb, which actually improves coordination and familiarizes her with her body. So that's really cool. This week was kind of a tough one for some reason. Just little things, but let's see, where should I start? I'll just start with the things that are more consistent, like I've been having restless legs again, not as much, but there was one night that was really bad this week that I had to have Drew like rub my legs because I was like, this is just terrible. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Like I was so tired, but I couldn't sleep because my legs were so restless. And then I'm just kind of generally uncomfortable. Like she's sitting up kind of high, so I really don't like sitting. I'd rather be standing or like laying down, because when I'm sitting, it's just like I feel like she's just crowding my lungs and my ribs, and it's just kind of uncomfortable. And she kicks my ribs a lot, so thank you, little one, for that. I've been having some Braxton Hicks here and there, but you know, nothing to cause concern yet, I think. So, and let's see, otherwise kind of the same stuff. So on Tuesday this week, well actually the night before, I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I was having some really bad like pelvic abdominal pain, kind of like on my one side, and I went to the bathroom and I was like, okay, maybe it'll feel better after that. Like I just needed to, like, you know, empty my bladder, I don't know. And then I went back to sleep, and then in the morning when I woke up, it was still really painful. And it was kind of constant pain. It wasn't, you know, I mean, it felt like period cramps. And I was like, this is really weird, because every time I go to the doctor, she asks me if I've had any cramping or any bleeding. So at about like 11 o'clock that day, I was like, okay, I need to call my doctor just to, if anything, ease my own mind. And I talked to a nurse, and she talked to my doctor and then called me back. And, you know, she asked me if I was still feeling the baby move, which I was and still am. And if I've been drinking a lot of water, which I like pound water all the time. And she asked me if I've had any bleeding, and I have not. And then what else did she ask? I think that was pretty much it. And she said, you know, cramping is really normal. It was most likely my uterus just growing. I mean, and it is a muscle, so it could have gotten dehydrated overnight, and then that's what the pain was from. She said, you know, you can take Tylenol if it gets bad enough, and just to rest and to push fluids. So that was that, and it does feel a lot better. It's still a little bit, it's almost like sore, like a sore muscle, but it's not as like painful as it was that day. So that was just a little scary, because I don't know what to expect at this point in my pregnancy. I've never been pregnant before, and it seemed like cramping was kind of like a bad thing, but she assured me that it is pretty typical. And then she said, you know, just to watch out for contractions that last longer than a minute. I think it's 10 times in 1 hour. And then she said if that happens, that's probably a sign of preterm labor, and you should just go right to the hospital. I'm like, oh, okay. So now anytime I have one, I'm like counting. I'm like, oh, they're usually only like 5 or 10 seconds or something. But anyways, so I got really overheated on Friday. It's been super hot here. It's always hot in Nebraska in June, July, and August. Just hot, hot, hot. Like it's been 100 almost every day. and I was only outside for all of 10 minutes. I was just vacuuming my car out, and I felt fine afterward, but then we had dinner with a couple friend of ours, and I was just like, I could not cool down. It was so strange, and I've never had that happen to me before. It kind of just, I guess I'm thinking it felt like a hot flash, I mean. I just kind of wasn't feeling well in general because I had gotten my whooping cough vaccine at my 32-week appointment that afternoon. And my appointment went fine, everything was normal and good. But it's still super, super sore 2 days later, and I just kind of felt like a little bit feverish from it. So I think it was like a combination of all of that. And we were just waiting at the restaurant forever to get like even just like a glass of water. So it was like, I was kind of like, I felt like I was being super dramatic. I'm like, you guys, I'm gonna pass out if I don't get water. So I like went to the bathroom, and anyways, so it was just really interesting because like I said, I've never had that happen to me, and I'm sure it was just like a combination of the heat and then being pregnant, and my body's like trying to protect the baby and everything like that. So that was that, and I've felt a lot better since then, and I've just been taking it easy, and I've been staying inside. Also, I should mention that the baseball game we're going to today, we actually have a suite, so we're going to be inside, luckily, because it's, again, 100 today. So I would say those are all of the symptoms that I could think of. I wanted to tell you guys a cute little story. So the pool where I take the boys that I nanny to, it's like also a gym, and I was changing in the locker room, and there was like a group of probably 20 little girls that were like changing kind of close to me, and this one little girl she's probably 5 or 6 at the oldest, and she like saw my belly, and she like looked up at me with these big eyes, and she goes, "Oh, do you have a baby in your belly?" And it was just like so cute, and I was like, I sure do. I was also going to tell you guys that Drew and I went to a new parent class, a little prenatal class. There's a few different ones that we could choose from, but that was the one that sounded like one that we were interested in the most. So we went to that on Thursday this week, and it was pretty interesting. It was only $10, you know, so it wasn't like we were gonna get all this crazy new like secret information or anything. There were a few things I learned that I didn't know, but mostly I feel like there's only so much they can teach you and tell you, and really the learning process is going to come from actually being a parent and having a baby here. I think the things that I valued the most from that were like what I learned about what's going to happen in the hospital, because a lot of that stuff I didn't know. Like I've been with my sister for 2 of my nieces being born, and there's things like Boo, don't mind his tail. There's still things that like I learned from that class. So well, I think that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!